Welcome everybody to an inmate's worst nightmare episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode's not going to be too long. I'm actually going to be reading a short story from an inmate that was turned out in prison. What exactly is being turned out? It's a tactic that comes in many variations, where an inmate will convince another inmate to perform sexual activities on him, whether by fear or just by straight trickery. So let's jump into the story and let this individual who did his 32 months inside of a Pennsylvania prison break down exactly how he got turned out. But first, as always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, so the story begins in my mid-20s. I was young and stupid. Thought I was a tough guy and was hustling. Ended up getting pulled over with a loaded gun and 2 ounces of powder. I eventually got sent to a state prison for 32 months. In order to survive in there, I basically had to become someone's prison wife, as they call it. Man, oh man, nothing scares me more than the words prison wife. I was young, slim, good looking, and completely inexperienced to doing time. My cellie, he was solid muscle, so he started taking advantage of me. What can I say? It was awful in the beginning, but I got used to it. I know that it could have been a whole lot worse for me, so I'm not bitter. At least he treated me pretty good, never hit me or anything like that. I mean, I was treated with at least some degree of respect, and he never shared me with any other inmates, thankfully. But this is something very real. Typically, when you get turned out, the individual who initially did it, he'll start selling you off to other inmates, pimping you out. Get turned out, come out the next day in skin-tight jeans. Next thing you know, he's going from cell to cell. It really happens. I'm well aware that there's going to be people on here who are going to clown me and point fingers. I don't really give a f***. What happened to me happens to a lot of men in lockup. I'm just one of the few who has a heart to admit it. They even have a name for the type of situations like this I was in. It's called protective pairing. I've never heard of this. For some of the guys in there who aren't as strong, becoming a punk is the only way to guarantee your safety. And that is 100% true, man. The things people do to make sure that they're safe is limitless. I mean, they'll do anything. But of course, safety comes with giving up your booty. I'm now 32 years old, have a beautiful girlfriend, and moved on. Although my experience in prison will stay with me for the rest of my life. P.S. One of the first things I did when I got out is go get tested, and I've been getting tested on a regular basis ever since. Just wanted to clarify for those who might be worried that I came home and infected my girl. Well, he definitely thought about every angle with that one, ended it with the P.S. But it seems like people were getting to him in the comment section. He had to do a following update, 5/8/21. I felt like I had to write this update for a couple of reasons. A little bit of the backstory so you can understand my frame of thought when I originally wrote the answer to the question, which was, what's it like being turned out in prison? But he wants to add this. My sole initial reason for making an account and putting this story out in January 2020 was to get people's advice on how to tell my girlfriend about what happened to me in prison. As soon as I revealed this personal embarrassing fact about my life, inevitably I began receiving ignorant comments from some small-minded people, calling me a pussy and so forth. So a couple of weeks later, I wrote the answer you've just read above. It was done with a middle finger in the air type of attitude, and I don't know exactly what this means. I think he has a few typos here, but it continues saying that it is the reason why I have come off sounding so nonchalant. It's almost like I'm bragging when I'm describing my experience, and I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I'm in a different state of mind today. The last thing I want is to give off an impression that I somehow enjoyed being a bitch. Nothing could be further from the truth. While I still maintain that in a lot of ways I did get lucky, in all things considering, not being abused physically, getting taken care of properly in there, and being protected from the other wolves. The fact still remains that what I went through was absolutely terrifying, specifically in the beginning. I would like the purpose of my story to be more of a cautionary tale. When I was moving coke, making lots of money, having lots of casual sex with beautiful women, I really thought I was the I thought I had it all figured out, and that working people were all suckers. Then fate decided to teach me a real lesson. I went from living the life, making love to my women every night, to all of a sudden being sent to one of the roughest joints in the state, and now having to sleep in the same bunk with a guy twice my size and 3 times my strength. He would hold me at night as I slept, and I would have to sit down every time I had to take a piss in his presence. The point being, you never know what twists and turns life has in store for you. I'm just glad I'm still here to tell my story. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen, being turned out in prison. And this one happens to be done by the whole fear aspect. Guy's twice his size, 3 times his strength. Probably said, look, bro, you're gonna break me off or I'm gonna break you. And you know, a lot of these guys, they'll say it nice and calmly so that you're not scared when he's telling it to you. Like, bro, I don't want nothing to happen to you, man. I know these other guys, they want to take advantage of you sexually. So if you do it with me, I'll make sure none of these other guys touch you and I'll keep it our little secret. You know, that's how it goes, unfortunately. Very sad. But look, I'm gonna say it like this. It usually only happens to all the weaker guys. Ones that ain't a part of no gang, ain't got no friends for real. They're just lone wolves looking weak and frail walking the yard. These guys been doing time for 10, 20 years, hitting the weight pit every day. They can see that weakness from a mile away. You ain't got nobody to help defend you. It's open waters for them. Sharks are gonna be coming from every angle. And you know, a lot of people might be wondering, why didn't he just leave the pod? Well, a lot of prisons and COs, they don't care about your issues. Technically, an inmate should be able to write on a request form or call on that little prison phone some kind of staff member or agency that's going to help him get out that cell block if he's about to get taken advantage of like that. That's in a typical prison that's running the way that it's supposed to be. I covered a story one time where a guy literally told the COs, hey, I'm being taken advantage of. You know, my cheeks are being taken every night. And he said to him, fuck or fight. And walked off. Next thing you know, he's dead and was taken advantage of sexually the whole time. So sometimes some prisons, literally, it's a whole nother world in there and there ain't nobody there to help you. But I'm out of here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's short video and got a little more awareness about being turned out in prison. I gotta go though. The lockdown compound is on the run starting today. And what I mean by lockdown compound on the run is when I hypothetically go out and try to survive in the wild as though I'm on the run from the law. So be on the lookout for that, not to mention the place that I'm gonna be recording from. It's epic, man. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Until the next time though, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.